Cancer Services Program is a program that Staten Island Hospital is actually one of the main providers of service for Staten Island. We provide free breast, cervical, and colon cancer screening to anybody who's uninsured or underinsured on Staten Island. This is a program that's run throughout all of New York State, so it's not just something specific to Staten Island. But for people who just don't need breast, cervical, and colon cancer screening, we have another program in the hospital called Sliding Scale, which allows anyone who's uninsured to utilize any of the services within the hospital. So it's a great thing to know and to have, but to know that we're doing breast, cervical, colon cancer screening. If somebody needs to be navigated to any other service, we have people specifically here to do that, to make sure everybody has access to all of the healthcare that's here in Staten Island Hospital.
A little bit, yes.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? It's Dibra.
Hi.
Anything you have to say about today's meeting with the Albanian community? And
Please come and check us out and have your blood pressure screenings done and your colorectal exams completed.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mirtita, unë jam Sihana Sela, jam vajzë e lindur në Amerikë, në Staten Island, nga familja shqiptar pi Dibras madhe. Unë punoj këto në Staten Island University Hospital si dimës mjeke, physician assistant, në degën e kirurgjisë për 10 vjet, këto 10 vjet të fundit. Të filloj pak në anglisht. This is an initiative from Staten Island University Hospital to reach out to the Albanian community here on Staten Island. As we've noticed throughout the few years, an obvious increase in the amount of Albanians that are present here that come and utilize our facilities at the hospital. And not only that, we've had increasing numbers of employees from the Albanian community. And the hospital brought this to the attention of us in the Albanian community that they would like to have more support for our community to make health our priority. And this initiative is to give people in the community education and resources to come and access our facility to get basic screening tools, insurance assistance, and many other programs. And I'm very excited to be a part of this today to promote in our community health and awareness. Thank you.
Mirdita, unë shuhem Betim Efendia, unë jam nga Gjakova, edhe unë jam physician assistant. Jemi mbledhur këtu sot që të miremi me komunitetin ton të madh dhe që mburremi me komunitetin ton të madh dhe të fortë që kemi këtu në Staten Island. Sot e kemi për interes shëndetin e të gjithëve, edhe shpresojmë që të fillojmë këtë iniciativë me edukat, se me edukat pasaj vazhdojnë shëndetin të mbirmbajmë. Faleminderit shumë edhe shpresojmë të kemi një ditë shumë të suksesshme.
Hi, my name is Iliriana Sala. I'm the Associate Executive Director at Staten Island University Hospital. I'm here with Dr. Holmes. I'm very excited for Dr. Holmes to be joining us at this event today. Staten Island University Hospital reached out to the Albanian community to talk about a lot of different initiatives that we have and a lot of programs that we have in our organization. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and it just is a perfect opportunity and time for us to meet with and talk with Dr. Holmes to talk about how important it is for the community to know about colon cancer and what we could do to prevent it and what kind of screenings are available in our organization.
Yeah, so as Liliana said, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and I always try to reach out to, all of the different communities and to really talk about the variety of things that are available and the things we need to do. And some of them are very simple to prevent or detect colon cancer early so that, we have great outcomes. So I'm relatively new to Staten Island. So it was great when when I met Ileana, we said, hey, listen, we could reach out to the Albanian community in particular, and that's what today is all about.
Thank you, TV Dibra, for coming and hosting the event and advertising what we're doing in Staten Island. And I'm hoping that the Dibrans in Dibra are able to see this. And hopefully we can come to you and bring an event like this out to our hometown in Dibra.
Emni jam është Juliana Andrea, punoj EKG technician. Jam shumë e kënaqur që u aktivizu ky lloj aktivitetit për shqiptarët prej të gjitha vendeve që janë. Për komunitetin tonë ky shërbim ai falenderoj Lirianën që e bani këtë lloj aktivitetit e jam e kënaqur me ndihmu shqiptarët kur vinë në spital, me përkthy për këta, me ju plotësu nevojat edhe për çdo që mundena me ndihmu shqiptarët tonë.
Hi, my name is Pranvera Andok. I am from Albania. I came here in 1991. I've been working here since 1993 and being around the hospital, trying to help all Albanian patients, because I know where I come from and how hard it is when you don't speak the language and how uncomfortable you are. Like what the situation was going on and what's the results is going to be. But I try like my best to help them in every way I could. And working here, it was like such a pleasure, like to know all these Albanian hard-working people, and seeing this event, it made me so happy and so proud of my ethnic Albanians and the whole country.
Hello, my name is Christina Picciotto. I'm the secretary of Dr. Nicholas Karanicholas. He's a urologic oncology doctor. I'm very happy to be here. The Albanian community does need assistance with medical care, especially if they're uninsured. So Staten Island University Hospital does offer that information to you.
Hello, I'm Sonata Like-Peric. I'm a physician assistant here at Staten Island University Hospital. I worked in general surgery and trauma surgery, and now I'm working in the emergency room. So I feel really happy that we're doing this for the Albanian community, because a lot of Albanians go by not ever going to the doctor, not knowing what can go wrong and what kind of diseases or cancers you can get. And this is great that we're educating the Albanian community and letting them know what's out there, and then we're here for them.
My name is Naim Rogova. I am a human resources professional here at Staten Island University Hospital. It's a beautiful moment to be here, to be amongst the Albanian community. Being in human resources, I have a first-hand look at the hiring process and the amount of Albanians that do work here and are flourishing. It's a very beautiful thing, and I'm very happy to be a part of this. Thank you.
Mirëmëngjes të gjithëve. Faleminderit që keni ardhur këtu sot në këtë ditën shumë e bukur. Jemi mbledh krejt, shqiptarë për krejt vendet, edhe kemi një prezantim shumë të mirë për të gjithëve. Unë jam Eleriana Sela, drejtorosh administruese në Staten Island University Hospital. Fillova si physician assistant në departamentin e urgjencës, duke u promovuar nga spitali në nivele të ndryshme të shërbimeve të sistemit shëndetësor. Bashkë me motrën time, si Hana dhe Vllaun Arjan, që gjithashtu punojnë këtu, si Hana si physician assistant në general surgery, edhe Arjani në cardiothoracic surgery, gjithmonë kemi biseduar së bashku për numrin e madh të shqiptarëve që binë në sy në Staten Island. Këtu në spital, gjuhë e shqipe konsiderohet si e katërta që përdoret. A keni ditë atë fakt? Shumë shqiptar kemi në Staten Island edhe që vinë në këtë spital. Për këtë arsye e pash nevojshme të marrë këtë iniciativë që do të ishte në dobi të komunitetit shqiptar, që do të informohet nga afër shërbimet shëndetësor të Staten Island University Hospital. Erdhi momenti që ftova kryetarin e Shoqatës Dibra, Tashnor Miftari, duke i ftuar me të njëjtën kohë gjithë shqiptarët nga të gjithë krahinët e kombit shqiptar të shfrytëzojnë në këtë rast që afron spitali jon. I am honored to introduce Dr. Holmes. Dr. Holmes started with our organization in January of 2017 as a colorectal specialist. We were just discussing in a hallway one day community outreach, and Dr. Holmes' passion for good health in his community is impressive. As we were talking, I was telling the history about the Albanians on Staten Island, how in 1960 there were no Albanians on Staten Island. And now all of a sudden we are the fourth language spoken in this hospital where we need translation. You look around our hospital and you have EKG techs, DEFTA. We have physician assistants, Sanada, Sihana, Aryan, Betim, coming from all over, from Jakova, from Dibra, from Kraya, from all over. We have medical we have individuals in human resources, Naim Rugova. We also have individuals working in our medical records department. We have Mira, who works there, along with a few others. Pharmacy, EKG, yes, EKG, we have a few of them actually. We also have Juliana. Where's Juliana? She's here as well. You have an administration, emergency department, nurses, nurse practitioners, Violeta, also from Dibra, who's a nurse practitioner in our cardiothoracic outpatient facility. We have so many, and I'm looking around the room, and I'm just really proud to be amongst our fathers, our nephews, our nieces, our grandparents. I look around the room and I see Staten Island Hospital employees who feel and understand that the population of Albanians on this island grew tremendously, where they themselves said, we want to reach out to the Albanian community. And they are here with us as well. So I just want to thank personally Chris Holly. She's our senior director for community outreach, and she made this whole event possible. I also want to thank Barbara O'Brien as well. Barbara, she's basically knows everything for community outreach for the cancer societies and programs that we have on the island. And I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this event, and I hope that we can do this annually. But even more important is not to do this annually and just wait every year until we talk about health. This is something that we should be talking about every single day with our family, with our parents, with our grandparents, and with our children. Because prevention, health, is important if you want to really, really enjoy your life. It is with great honor that I get to introduce Dr. Nathalia Holmes, our colorectal specialist, who reached out to the Albanian community, and I would love for him to share with us, thank you so much for being here, my pleasure, and educate us on colorectal cancers and I also want to thank TV Dibra for making this possible, because not only are we communicating with the individuals that are here in this room, but we're actually going to be reaching out to many Albanians throughout the whole world, because this will be televised in satellite television. So spread the word for health and awareness. Dr. Holmes.
Thank you very much, Ileana, for that great introduction. And I think you guys should congratulate yourselves as well for coming out on a day like this to get information on this really important topic. So today what we're going to talk about, March is National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. So I try to get out to every community to talk about this as much as I possibly can. This is a really important topic, and you'll see that with a little effort, we can all not only decrease, but maybe at some point eliminate colorectal cancer altogether. So what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to maybe be moving a little quickly because I do want you guys to get out and go to the booths and get information on some of the tests that I'm going to be talking about. But we're going to talk about, some of the demographic, who this deals with, some of the causes, some of the risk factors. We're not really going to talk too much about treatment, because really what we want to talk about is preventing it, right? We don't want to treat. I don't want to have to treat you. I do surgery. I love doing surgery. But if I don't have to do surgery for your cancer, that would be great. Screening, screening, screening. That's what we're going to talk about. And prevention. That's what we're here for, right? So, sorry. So basically, everybody who grows up in the United States, from the time you're born to the time you die, has a lifetime risk of 4.6%. And that's actually coming down a little bit. When I first started doing this talk about 20 years ago, it was 6%. So that's coming down. That's awesome. About 135,000 new cases a year, 57,000 deaths. It's the second most common cancer killer. So of all of the cancers that people are dying, decrease, or if you're taking calcium supplementation, for osteoporosis, you get the added benefit of potentially decreasing your risk, okay? But these things generally aren't prescribed to decrease risk. What are the signs and symptoms? Okay, everybody's like, well, I don't know, I feel pretty good. So you can have some blood in the stool. So you may notice a little bit of blood, no big deal, I don't have any pain, I feel pretty good, that probably is nothing, right? You may actually see bleeding, right? You may have some change in your bowel habits, so you may say, oh, well, before I was going once a day, no problem, now I'm a little constipated, or I'm going every other day, or more importantly, the stool is getting really small. So it used to be a regular size, and now it's like a pencil. That's problematic. You could have abdominal pain, and you could have weight loss. And I can tell you, if you get to the point where you're having abdominal pain and weight loss, we missed the boat. We missed that opportunity to catch it early, because those are usually later signs, okay? The real problem with colon cancer and rectal cancer in terms of signs and symptoms is there are usually none, okay? You feel fine. There's no issue, okay? I like to tell the story of a patient of mine who came to me and said, Doc, I'm finally going to get this colonoscopy. A buddy of mine, my next door neighbor, had a colonoscopy, and he was diagnosed with colon cancer. And we were really shocked because he was doing okay. And he said, I just finally decided, he was past due. He was probably almost 60. He should have gotten his colonoscopy at age 50. But finally, that is what drove him to finally come and get his colonoscopy. And unfortunately, I did his colonoscopy, and he had a cancer. Okay? So you feel fine. There's no issue. That's why we have to do screening, and we'll talk about that more. Treatment, we're not here to talk about treatment. We want to not have to treat you, but typically surgery is the curative treatment for colorectal cancer. And it doesn't matter how we do it, whether we do it open, I do open surgery, I do laparoscopic surgery, I do robotic surgery. They all work great. But if we could remove the entire tumor and get everything out, we can cure you from your disease. So about almost 50% of patients wind up requiring some chemotherapy, again, depending on the stage of the disease. So the really important point is we want to find it early, okay? So we do screening. We screen, meaning we have you come in to do some tests for all kinds of different diseases. Breast cancer, colon cancer, and prostate cancer are the 3 most common cancers, okay? So, you know, anything that's common and potentially lethal, meaning it'll kill you, we like to, you know, try to be ahead of the game and screen, okay? Most breast cancer, colon cancer, and prostate cancer all have long, what we call preclinical phase, means that you can detect it early before it becomes a really advanced cancer. And they all take, you know, 5 years, 10 years to really go from a few cells to a big cancer. In order to do screening, you have to have tests that are safe and accurate and readily available. And the other thing we want is to be able to say we detect it early, we can actually impact the whole disease process so we can improve your survival. And that is readily available for colorectal cancer. In terms of death rates, you can see, you know, this isn't a nice graph showing the picture down, but you can see kind of the different areas where the range is higher or lower. Same thing here. And in terms of screening, you know, there are pockets of Staten Island where we could really do better in our screening. And talk about that a little bit more right now. And then deaths by death count in New York. Here you go. So, this is great news. This is awesome. But we could do better. We could definitely, unequivocally do a lot better. Okay? And that's why we're here today. If we look at, you know, we say, you know, we do this by doing screening, doing colonoscopies, finding polyps, removing them before you get cancer, and that's all great, but if you look over the United States, only about 7% of people are doing the stool test, about 60% are getting colonoscopies, so combined about 62%. And if you look here, where we're at, 65% in the Northeast are actually doing screening. That's, and I started doing this 20 years ago, that's up a little bit, maybe 5%. It used to be like 58, 60%. So, and as you hit 50, it starts to go up. And the peak age, like I said, is 65, 70. A lot of data that over the next, you know, 5, 10 years that some of the recommendations do change. Usually what we try to do is identify a high-risk group, okay? So we may find that, hey, if you are, you know, if your body mass index is above 30, you're diabetic, African American.
Pikat kryesor që I bëria doktori specialisti në specialist është në kolorektum. Normal që në shumë më shumë detaje kishte në prezantimin, por për ju që nuk flisni anglisht, vetëm desha e të vas shpjegu se çfarë ishte tema që u bë sot. Kanceri I kolonit, I zorës të trash, është kanceri shumë e rëndësishme për me ditë detajet e kësaj kanceri, se është kanceri I ditë që shihet më shpesh në popullin ton. Edhe është një kancer që është një përqindje shumë e vogël që ndodhen në linje që I ke në gjini ose në gjakun, si është ai shpreha, e ke në gjak. Në fakt është një lloj kanceri që zhvillohet sipas jetës, do të thënë dietin që e ke, ushqimet që jash, edhe ka shumë gjona për ta kontrolluar mënyrën se si jetojsh jetën, për ta parandaluar rrezikun e zhvillimit të këtij lloji kancerit. Doktori I shpjegoi se një rrezikët që ekzistojnë që e ngrenë përqindjen e secili njeriu, përqindja e rrezikut për ta zhvilluar këtë kancer janë nëse e ke sheqerin, diabet, nëse je, ai është një rrezik që ta jep rrezikun e këtij lloji kancerit. Nëse e ke pas në brezin e parë të familjes, është një faktor tjetër që e ngren atë përqindjen e rrezikut të kancerit. Peshës, pirja e duanit dhe dieta, do me thënë edhe ngramja e mishit të kuq më shumë se 7 herë në javë, nëse pirja e alkoolit më shumë se 3 pije në ditë, të gjithë këto janë faktorët që ngrenë rrezikun e këtij lloji kancerit. Dhe është shumë e rëndësishme për, domethënë për të kontrolluar këto, për të qenë aktiv në jetë, dash palestër, dash çdo lloj aktivitet që mundesh me i bë, të jesh aktiv, e ulën përqindjen e rrezikut të kancerit të zorës të trash, dieta, të jash ushqime më shumë me grun dhe fruta dhe perime. Përveç se asaj, është shumë e rëndësishme edhe të bësh analiza e gjakut që incizimi, do me thënë, për ta pa si është përqindja tanë për ta zhvillu këtë kancer. Ka e shpjegoj të doktori një web faqe ku secili prej jush moni në web faqe dhe ka një formular që merr vetëm mund 3 minuta për me mbush pyetje që bojnë atë janë pyetjet moshën se si e ke, ushqime që janë, sa aktivitete bësh, vetëm e mbushish formularin edhe të jep një lloj përqindje, do të thënë përqindja e jot për ta pas këtë kancer në jetën tanë. Edhe përveç se kësaj, ky spitali edhe është një bursë që ofrohet në këtë spital ku një analizë më ne bësh për ta pa e bësh këtë analizën në shtëpi, të hapin në një paqet, ta shpjegohet më shumë më vonë, po është një analizë që ofrohet të gjithëve pa pagesë, të gjithë është burse e shtetit, ku më ne bësh në shtëpi edhe çojsh edhe është incizim për fecesëve që për me pa a ka gjak edhe ka dhe një rrezik. Nëse del pozitiv, atëherë ofrojnë edhe kolonoskopi, do me thënë incizimin e zorës së trash. Edhe të gjithë këto informatat t'i shpjegojnë këtu edhe në më shumë detaje. Edhe për më shumë që shpjegojti doktori është edhe shenjat për t'i pa, për që duhet me kërku doktor për më shumë informata, shenjat që më një shovish vetë, që duhet ta bësh pyetje, disha kam të një gjë me zorën trash, është nëse shofish ndryshim në të dalme njash, edhe nëse, sidomos nëse shofish gjak. Këto janë të shenja që duhet me dhe mos të kërkuish më shumë analiza. Për më shumë, nëse keni të një pyetje, mundesh me i bë në Shqip dhe t'ja përkthej doktorit, dash përpara gjithë grupin, dash privatisht, jemi këtu për të shërbe. Ipen falas prej shtetit dhe në këtë spital që bojnë, edhe këto shërbimet jenë incizimit për rrezikun e kancerit të gjiut, kancerin e vendit të fëmis dhe kancerin e zorës të trash. Në ma shumë detaje për këto që jenë kancerin e gjinit dhe kancerin e vendit të fëmis, mundesh me i pit zonjën veçan, për ajo më shumë ini në detaje për mënyrën se si bëhet kjo analiza që folëm ma jeret për ta bënë në shtëpi, për tipa analizat e fecesit që bëhen në laboratori. E shpjegojti se si bëhet, kjo është një zarf që e marrish, mund dalësh këtë avëllina jashtë.
Okay, good afternoon. What I'd like to do is just give you just a brief overview of our program and then take you through a little relaxation exercise just to show you what it's all about. And then if you're interested in expanding that a little bit, we're going to do another session in a little while at 2 o'clock in one of the small rooms with a little bit more detail. But it was interesting when Dr. Holmes was doing his presentation, I realized that the risk factors that are associated with colon cancer are actually what we call in stress management coping mechanisms. Smoking, drinking, eating, these are ways that we deal with the stress in our life. Oftentimes we don't necessarily associate them directly with relieving stress, but that's basically what they are. There are opportunities for us to sort of get away from what we consider to be stress. The brain doesn't like stress. So the brain will always try, anytime that you're dealing with any issue, any problem, that the brain will try to escape from it in some way. And going out for a cigarette and taking a small break, that's a way of getting away from it. Having a drink is certainly a very good way of getting away from it. Having 3 drinks and you probably pretty much forget all your problems, at least temporarily. Eating is another way of being able to do it. Now, culturally we know that many cultures have their own kind of set kind of meals and things like that. But the idea is we're not talking about eating, we're talking about overeating. We're talking about gaining weight to the point where we begin to stress our system to the point where we increase the risk of things like colorectal cancer. So the idea is that oftentimes what we need to do is we need to learn new adaptive ways of being able to deal with our stress. One of the things that Dr. Holmes mentioned was exercise. Exercise is probably the #1 way to deal more effectively with stress. There have been many, many studies, and I don't want to get into too much, real clinical detail, but we know that people who exercise regularly deal with stress much more effectively than people who don't. And so the idea of being in good physical condition oftentimes allows us to deal with stress so that we don't have to do those other things. We do a meditation program here at the hospital basically to introduce people to the idea, to the concept of meditation. And it's interesting because a lot of people have the false belief that meditation is something that has to be done in a dark room. You have to sit down and you have to cross your legs and you have to burn incense and things like that. None of those things necessarily have to happen. As a matter of fact, meditation is anything that you do that causes you to stop thinking. Now, I realize that that sounds strange because from the time we were little, we were told that thinking was good. But once we leave school, oftentimes what we're really doing when we're thinking is we're worrying. We're not thinking at all. We're just worrying about something. And so the idea of being able to find a way to be able to stop that thought temporarily, and again, going back to Dr. Holmes' presentation, when a person has a cigarette, oftentimes thought stops. You're doing that. You're not thinking about anything else. When we drink, same way. When we're eating, same way. So the idea is that meditation is a way that is healthy to be able to get this thought to stop. And the interesting thing is that what you realize is if I can stop my thoughts during meditation, why can't I do it all the time? And of course, that is the way it is. Any of you ever been on vacation? Okay, on vacation. Okay, if you have a 7-day vacation, the first 6 days, how do most people feel? Pretty good, right? Yeah, okay. Are all the problems in your world solved before you go on vacation? Okay, but you just said you felt great. Most people don't feel great when they have problems, so what's different? You tune them out or you don't think about them. In other words, you're focused on what you're doing. You're focused on being in a new place. You're focused on the people that you're with. You have other focuses. And you kind of put the thought in the back of your head. Now what happens on day 7? Right? So you start thinking again. Now it's interesting because what I tell people is that if you're only going to enjoy the first 6 days, the next time you book a vacation, make sure that you tell the travel agent that you're only willing to pay for 6 days. That you're not willing to pay for the 7th day, because the 7th day you're not really going to enjoy it. You're already back home. Not physically back home, but you're mentally back home. And this is what we mean by stress. This is what we mean by talking about stress. And it's interesting. I like to use this example because it's something that I think sort of brings it home. A couple of months ago, one of my neighbors at work was coming back from a vacation, and she was telling everybody on the floor about her vacation. And when I left that evening, I said to her, "Oh, by the way, I'm going on vacation." And she said, "Oh, that's terrific. When are you coming back?" And I said, "Tomorrow morning." Okay, now you laugh because, see, what the brain will do, the brain will make you think that tomorrow morning can't be a vacation. I can't be on vacation for only 12 hours. It has to be 3 days or 4 days or 7 days or 2 weeks. But the idea is that we can change the way we think. In other words, if we decide that when we leave work, we're going to be on vacation, that's what we're going to be. We're going to be able to relax, as opposed to what most people do is they forget about the fact that they're not at work anymore, and they worry about what they're going to do tomorrow. So they never even get to enjoy the time off. Matter of fact, they should just stay at work if they're going to be like that. But the idea is that we have the capacity to be able to change our focus, and meditation is one of the ways to be able to help you do that. Once you understand that you have control, then you begin to exercise control. So what I'd like to do is take you through a little relaxation exercise. I know it's dangerous at this time of day because we could lose some of you, but I promise you, wake you up. Security will not allow you to stay here overnight, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you just want to sit back, relax, we're just going to turn the lights down a little bit.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to thank everybody that put this together. First, I'd like to thank you, Donna Prosky, Executive Director of Staten Island University Hospital, Christy Holly, Organizer, Community Outreach, Barbara O'Brien, Dr. Holmes. Thank you, Dr. Holmes, for being here today. Christian Preston, and I'd like to thank Baudin Sela for raising 3 beautiful kids. We are very proud to have them here. They're all highly educated. This family, this Dibra family, is very well known in our community. They've been doing a great job on all sides. Also, many thanks to Liliana Sela, my cousin. I love you, cousin. You're beautiful. Just like I told you in a comment. Without you, we want to put this together. So I'm just going to also thank all the volunteers, all the Dibrans that work here. We are very proud of them. You know, we are sort of breaking away from this pizza and construction business and all of that. These guys are now highly educated, so it's a big hope for us. I don't know all the names, but I'll just specifically say Violeta, Liria, and I'm sorry, I don't know, I forgot, Senada. Thank you, all of you, for putting this together and being here today. I'd like to thank Dibra TV, and this time I'm going to get it right. Parparim Prapaniku. So now, të nderuar dhe pranishëm, e di se u lodhet me fjalimet për pak. Unë nuk jem doktor, po të flas pak diçka rreth Shoqatës. Ishte një kënaqësi e madhe që ne me Ilirianën bashkëpunuam në këtë ditë për të gjithë ju që jeni në nevojë për një vizitë. Shpresojmë që të gjithë jeni mirë me shëndet. Për ata që s'kan ardhur, ndoshta jenë të gjithë mirë, po shpresojmë që radhës tjetër të ketë të kemi njerëz sa më shumë. Kjo është ideja e kësaj shoqate që ne gjithë njëjtë jemi në shërbim të komunitetit, ne vazhdimisht po punojmë. Ju të gjithë e dini se ne të gjithë jemi vullnetar. Kemi marrë përsipër këtë shoqatë edhe çdo shërbim që ne mund të ofrojmë juve, ne do jemi këtu në shërbimin e juaj. Shumë faleminderit për pjesëmarrjen. Edhe ne kuptohet të kemi edhe aktivitete tjera. Ju lutemi na përkrahni. Pa përkrahjen e juaj ne asgjë. Do të vinim këtu sot vetë dhe do të shikojmë një tjetër, po ju lutemi, ju drejtojmë Komunitetit Dibran që të përkrahin shoqatën në çdo aktivitet që ne punojmë së bashku. Ju faleminderit edhe një herë. Tashi mbas kësaj do Iriana on that side po. Të gjithë ju jeni këtu, shfrytëzoni këtë moment, do bëhen disa teste, bëni është në shërbimin e juaj, është falas, çdo pitje që keni. Mos hezitoni, unë, Iliriana, të gjithë janë këta shqiforce këtu, bëni pitje këtu, mos e leni për nesër, ta kisha bëni pitje, po më vinë të mbare, ose diçka. Ju lutem bëni pitjen këtu, jemi këtu, bëni, drejtononi, ne jemi këtu për të ndihmuar. Ju faleminderit shumë ti.
nëse të vini plus. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I signed it for him. You want to do it?
Bobby Paul.
We have to get permission from them.
Të nderuar bashkëdhetar, jemi këtu në Staten Island University Hospital me janë gjithë anëtarët e bordit. Përfunduam këtë iniciativë që Shoqata morë përsipër në bashkëpunim me Staten Island University Hospital. Betëm tepër të kënaqur, kishte një prezencë e madhe Dibrane, ku ative u dha mundësia që të bëjë një vizitë shëndetësore dhe shpresojmë që ata të gjithë të jenë të shëndetshëm, por gjithsesi ne si shoqatë morëm përsipër këtë në shërbimin e juaj si komunitet. Këtu ngjitemi me shumicën e anëtarëve të bordit. Dua t'i falenderoj edhe ata se ne shpesh na jepet mundësia dhe jemi me fjalun si kryetar edhe këtyre anëtarëve të bordit nuk i jepet mundësia të dalin para kamerës dhe para publikimit, po gjithsesi, ne të gjithë bashkarisht, çdo iniciativë që kemi bërë, po punojmë bashkarisht edhe dua edhe shokët e mi t'i falenderoj shumë për ndihmën që ata dhanë sot edhe në çdo aktivitet që ne kemi pas. Me do marrësh fjalën pak?
Përshëndetje edhe një komunitetit Dibran. Unë vetëm desha të theksoj diçka personale. Ju që më njihni, domethënë e dini, kum pas një aksident tepër të rënd para 15 viteve. Edhe kam vujt shumë për faktin që nuk kam pas inshurancë. Sot e kemi dokumentin këtu, të gjithë ato që nuk kanë inshurancë, brenda 24 orëve të shkojnë në webfaqen dibra.org edhe të shkarkojnë këtë formën në PDF file edhe mund aplikojnë për inshurancë. Kjo është një farë premtimi i spitalit që na ka mundësuar dhe është një krenari shumë e madhe. E përshëndes familjen Sela, Iliriana edhe kretë fëmijët këtu që i punojnë, kretë Dibranët, preka Shkodra, shqiptarët tjerë që jenë aktiv këtu në këtë, që e mundësun këtë shërbim. Edhe si shtash brenda 24 orëve mund e shkarkoni formën në webfaqen dibra.org. Faleminderit.
Edhe njerë, më fali edhe njerë dësha të falenderoj edhe unë, si Ana Selën, që na mundsoi këtë bashkëpunim, familjen Sela në përgjithësi, babin e saj Baudinin, që i ka edukuar këta fëmijë, të gjithë bëjmë thirrje, prej këtu gjithë komuniteti pranë të përkrahojnë shoqatën, i lutemi bëni antarësimin, bëni regjistrimin, se në këtë mënyrë ne do të ecim më përpara dhe çdo veprimtari, çdo aktivitet që ne do bëjmë, ju me regjistrimin që do bëni na lehtësoni mënyrën se si ne të komunikojmë me ju. Ju faleminderit.
Me shoqatën Atdhetare Dibra, për televizionin Dibra, nga Shtetet e Bashkuara të Amerikës për parim Papraniku. Faleminderit edhe një herë për punë të mirë që keni bërë dhe që vazhdoni të bëni. Faleminderit.